Writing the score for Days Gone, the setting played a huge part. To me, it was about the texture of the music matching the texture of the world. Acoustic, organic, a little bit of Americana. I think folk elements like that often are rough around the edges. They have an honesty that felt at home in this world and matched the grit. Nature has this special ability to make us look inward. And I think so much of the Days Gone story, people are forced to examine themselves. They're forced to look inward. The score couldn't just be about two guys riding motorcycles through isolated roads. It needed to be about the motorcycles, but it also needed to be about what's going on in Deacon's head and his regrets and his fears and his doubts. The Freakers, the infection, that is the central antagonist in the story. Finding the sound world for the Freakers involved tons of experimentation. I started bowing everything in my studio. Chairs, trash cans, cymbals. It was challenging because the Freakers needed to be terrifying, and their music also needed to connect to humanity, needed to connect to the tragedy of most of Earth's population being lost to this infection. This one cymbal recording felt really cool, it felt aggressive, it had a cool shape to it, and one of my producers on the Sony Music team pointed out there's a little melody in there. When we zoomed in, I time stretched it, and there was this melodic phrase that emerged just from bowing that cymbal. That became the basis for the Freakers melody. It suddenly gave their theme all this versatility. We could have the low strings play it, and it was menacing and foreboding. And we could have the piano play it, and suddenly it connected to the tragedy. And it allowed us to weave some of this emotion, this human loss, but still have the pulse-pounding terror and aggression that the Freakers needed. Scoring Days Gone is the same as scoring 3 movies, plus figuring out how the music can be interactive and how it can respond to what the player is doing and create this immersive experience. It's a wonderful story. It's an intense story. It's sad, it's emotional. It has all these moments. And I want the music to draw the player in and help them experience that.
For the players.